Man should not rule over man. Let knowledge rule again. The book of light, book of books, and savior of mankind. Aum.
Welcome to the Book of Light, greatest handwritten, dictated book in the world, in English language, to me dictated in Los Angeles, partially while I was homeless under a bridge. Who am I? First of all, I tell you something. My name is LANOO. That means the student. Something was dictated to me. I pass that on to you. I'm not a guru. We don't believe in gurus. We only say the scripture is perfect. And dear friends, today we begin with the Book of Light at the so-called beginning, and there we have already a problem which made Mr. Hawking die in pain and sorrow, thinking. I spoke with an assistant of him. Well, maybe there was a beginning, but what was before the beginning and all that? Glory to the Book of Light. But first of all, I must speak a harsh word with you Americans, actually with all people in the world. Are you completely insane to follow pedophile, satanic, adrenochromic leaders in politics or wherever? You see where that led you to. Into an insane world ruled by insane people. Book of Light teaches, man should not rule over man. Let the knowledge, again, the teaching rule. Don't take me as a guru. Don't believe anything I say. You decide. I am just a LANOO, a student. That was dictated to me by the Mahachohan. And it was translated in German language in 12 volumes. But now, for the first time, because I tell you frankly, I think with our adults, with our grown-ups, it's hopeless. They are all caught by fake media. They are caught by perverted leaders like Trump and Clinton and the rest of that criminal company. And they're misled. You think a Donald Trump who never had a success in his entire life. I know the bankers from in Los Angeles. These were people from the German bank, Deutsche Bank, who gave to Donald Trump credits all the time. Always new money. He never gained one penny in his life. He always had no success. And then the bank said, you own our $3 billion. And he said, who? And they said, well, you know what? They sat together and they said, well, we gave him so much money and his name is, so to speak, like a label. Let's use the name Trump. This guy is entertaining. At least I hope he is not as a satanic, adrenochromic, pervert, Epstein pervert like the rest of them. Like they say of Clinton and the rest of them. Of the Lolita people. Are you completely insane? I must talk to you like this because the time has come to tell you man should not rule over man. Let the knowledge rule. That was dictated to me under the bridges of Los Angeles. I am LANOO Christian Anders. I am a German superstar. You don't believe it? Girl, Google me. You have 170 million entries. To my last concert about a year ago, how many people came? You'll see it here on that webpage. 410,000. 410,000. You know somebody to whom 410,000 come? I don't know. 10,000 more than Woodstock. But I don't care. I began my career 50 years ago in Germany with #1. And today I'm still #1 since 13 weeks already with my song Reunion. The media hates me. They say, why can't you be just a superstar and follow us in this? And now you come with your entire theories. Here, I wrote a book of Corona, it placed 5 in the charts. I'm a rebel. But I'm a rebel with a cause. And that is the Book of Light. If that would be my knowledge, I would demand all Nobel Prizes in the world. So I have to start with that to wake you up. Are you completely insane to follow those worldly leaders who take your money and have sex with children on an island? The time has come, dear friends, to reverse from attachment to detachment. But in order to reverse to detachment, you will have to know to what you are really attached. And in the entire world, every being, from the mineral, from the plant, from the animal, from to the human, to the angels, all the kingdoms have only one question: who am I? Who am I? And they ask the wrong question. And all those gurus on the internet and so forth, they're all liars. When they teach you, you can find yourself. Are you completely disorganized in your thinking? How can you find yourself when you are the searcher? Every process of self-searching always comes from the self to the outside. Listen, a child of 5 years can understand that. And I begin with, and I tell you something. This book, this huge book dictated to me, is concentrated in one little book, Book of Light for Children. Because our children are the future. Most adults are damned to another reincarnation together with those pedophile Satanists who rule the world. And that is why we have to become morally pure again. I'm not morally pure. Otherwise I would be a guru or a master. This is the truth. And you have to decide if it is the truth. And I'll tell you something else. You think, oh, he wants to sell his books. Well, here is an information for you. This book costs over $2,000. This book. I sold already 10. Did I make any money with it? None. I don't take money from my books. Only the production of this monster book. They have to sue each page. It's not just glued or something. It takes 2 months to produce that book. And so, this book only costs a couple of bucks. I also don't take any money from it. I'm not permitted to take money from that teaching. Excuse me. I just pass it on. I'm a LANOO. I'm a student. I try to reach the perfection of the Book of Light. Yes. Yes. Often I fail. Don't listen to the Dalai Lama. He is a crook. He is an insulter and raper of the teaching of the Buddha. Because this constantly grinning ape, Dalai Lama, I say it and take the karma on me. He teaches that the final goal of detachment is destroyment of the being itself. Are you insane, Lama? You left Tibet full loaded with gold after you have tortured, maimed, amputated, and enslaved your people. You were not 14 when you left. You were 24. So don't tell me any. There are many victims of your cults. And don't say you are a Buddhist. A Buddhist you are. Don't say you are a Buddhist. You are an insulter of the teaching of the Buddha. So, dear friends, you see, I am a little bit agitated. A little bit agitated. Sorry. I'm a LANOO. That means student. All that has been dictated to me. And today we start our first lesson. And we start with the beginning. And there we have already a problem. When Hawkins died, you know, this one, he asked a question to an assistant of him whom I know. He said, what was before the beginning? Glory, glory, glory to the Book of Light. Who answers that question? There's no beginning and no end. Because if there would be a beginning, a 5-year-old, a child who reads the Book of Light could ask, what was before that beginning? Daddy, if Daddy says, well, you know, it says in the Bible, in the beginning God created heaven and earth. Oh, really? Who created God? No one. He was always there. Is God perfect? Yeah, sure, he's perfect. Why is his creation not? Well, he wants to see, he makes a test, you know, the Quran says, he wants to make a test. How is God all-knowing? Yes, sure. Does he know the future? Oh, of course, he knows everything. Well, then he must have known the people he created, how they would react on his creation, so he is to blame. But why are you completely? God is perfect. No, why is his creation not? Dear friends, the time has come. The time has come. And you see, I'm a multi-billionaire when I left to Los Angeles. I was with a woman, very famous, blah, blah. And it was great. Okay. And then I left and then I pushed the cart and I slept on that bridge. I could have gone back to Germany and just to say, come on, start again. No, I didn't. I waited. And the Mahachohan came and said, are you ready, fool? Tölpel, in German, talk to me. Are you ready? For what? To unite all religions in the world again. New World Order, not me. Fool, sit down. Well, I'm sitting on that bridge in front of Patrick's Roadhouse. I just met Arnold Schwarzenegger there, well, a year ago when I was still with that girl. And now I'm here. Well, that's where you belong. You will be provided for. And 3 months later, I had my own TV show, LANOO Live on the Book of Light. And my partner had everything, and I could sit down and write. Just read my biography if you want to. Then you will see. But that's not so important. Important is that I have, through the Book of Light, the answer of all the questions in the world. And the first and foremost question is, where did everything begin? Bible and Quran are very dissatisfying when you take them literally. They can't reveal to you. But God existed always. Suddenly he was alone, right? He said, oh, let's create. Nonsense. And so we will spend the time here of this teaching. Excuse me, but sometimes I was born with a lung disease. Lung disease always means abuse of sexual power in past lives, or over-exaggeration of sexual power. Yeah. Well, that's where I looked for my happiness in sexual activity. And being a superstar that I still am in Germany, you can see here how they come to my concerts. I used that position to satisfy my sexual desires. And they made it easy on me. Right? So, I'm 76. And I sing like I was 20. Look. Don't believe it? People say, oh, he sings full playback. No, I'm not. Far away from the city noise, deep inside of your heart, there's a voice in the silence calling for you. It's your guiding star, and so forth and so on. Well, that's the point. See, my Kundalini has provided me with so much energy that I still can sing like I would be 20. And that's it. That's why I'm still #1 in Germany right now with my song Reunion, by the way. You can see the charts. But that is not enough for me. Not enough for me. So, today's topic, you see, there's a problem that I have. The great Johann said to me, you always sidetrack. We used Blavatsky, he said, she was over-emotional. Excuse me. And you, he said, well, you are emotional too, but you sidetrack. Somebody asked you, what's the time? And you explain to him the watch. So keep to the topic. I do. When did everything begin? There is no beginning. There is a reawakening of uncreated, timeless, eternal, pre-existent situation. That's why the Book of Light teaches. And the Bible teaches that too, by the way. We come to that. You see, this book unites everything. Bible, Quran, everything. Let me explain it in a way that a 5-year-old can understand it. Because if a 5-year-old can understand that, then you can forget it. If a 5-year-old can't understand the truth, then forget it. This is why we live in an insane world ruled by insane rulers. Because they do things that a 5-year-old can't understand. So, now let's see. Excuse me. When you go to bed and you sleep and you wake up, did somebody else wake up? It's still you. You were, so to speak, in that comparison, in that parable, pre-existent. That means there are 3 so-called Holy Trinity. All beings, the source and root matter. Since I also teach Sanskrit, it's all beings, the source and Mula Prakriti. They are latent, there. When the desire in the beings appears, what desire? Trishna, Tanha, Pali Tanha, Sanskrit Trishna, for material life. It's not enough for them to be there and be safe. So they leave the ground, they leave the source, they leave the security. And they fall into material world, meaning we call them, these beings, the monads. Say the beings, say whatever you want, doesn't matter. You can say X, U, Ba, Bi, Ba, Bo. It doesn't matter. The beings. Desire in them arises from material existence. They dive into Mula Prakriti, in material, abstract world, in the source of all matter. And they impregnate that. This is why later, this is copied in mankind now in sexual reproduction, which, by the way, should never have happened. It should be long over with. LANOO, don't sidetrack. Okay, now the beings leave the source. That happened according to the Book of Light. We start on the page. Over 150 trillion years ago. We call it, they awakened from latency, from pralaya, into activity, manvantara, Sanskrit. So now they are there. They impregnate matter. Who created you? The Book of Light says you created yourself. The self is uncreated, timeless, eternal, the being. But you dived into matter. You surrounded yourself with material structures. And the first forms appeared according to your desire. And other beings who left the source in hierarchical order supplied you with additional husks, you could say additional bodies. And that's how you outlive your desire. Some of them hesitated. We come to that. And that results in the different mankind of today. You left the source, driven by desire for material existence. That's the answer. And now you are. And there's no God to blame, no devil to blame, no one to blame, but just you. You are exactly in the right place where you are now. Well, LANOO, 25,000 children die each day while our politicians and priestess are fatter and fatter. Well, you have to study the law of karma and reincarnation. You know that whatever happens to anybody, he, it, or she, them have caused themselves. Well, then they deserve it. Oh, great, they deserve it. I go on with my life. If you do that, you will be punished and stricken by the law of mercilessness. The greatest opportunity for you to be able to show mercy for everything that suffers is the book of light for children. Our children are our hope. Get that. It costs nothing. You spend so many bucks for your daily nonsense, poison your children and yourself. I have to speak to you like a father to his disordinate, disobeying children. And we have to see, of course, dear friends, we have to see our everything as with a little bit of humor. Life is suffering. No doubt. What does passion mean? I saw this guy 2 meters high when I was in LA, went with a helicopter, I don't know what his name was, and he showed you how to become rich. Be passionate, he says. Well, passionate comes from the Latin passionare, means to suffer. Is this a sadomasochist? I tell you what, everybody who leaves the source and who wants to remain here is a sadomasochist. He wants to suffer and he wants to make suffer. And we come to that. But we have to stay for a moment at this beginning point. And when you ask what was before the awakening, I told you, what were you before you awoke when you went to bed last night? You were still there, right? This universe is a continuation of the universe that went before the pralaya, before the period of cosmic latency. And Hawking suffered because he didn't understand that. And what he said was, well, let's say there was not a beginning, it was a pre-beginning. He was close to the truth, but without that. So these three, this is the true meaning of the Bible when it says Holy Trinity. That Holy Trinity is timeless, eternal, uncreated. Glory to the Book of Light. And thank you for your attention.
Children of light, listen to me. They're coming from everywhere to see the angel of light, and they're holding each other's hands, and they wait until the night. And then they hear a sound, and they see light. Children of light, listen to me. children of love, joy, truth, freedom, children of war, for a new world, for a new world of love and peace. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Coming from a distant chain, I am your angel of love, and I bring a message of love and of peace to all mankind. And I want you to know that you're not alone. This is my message. Love each other. Forgive.